Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your libertarian car guy, and I had a little thought this morning that I thought might be worth sharing, and it is a commonality, the way that speed limits and other highway signs have essentially become meaningless. I mean, other than tools for ripping you off and taking your money, they're largely meaningless in terms of providing you with any meaningful information about, for example, the safe speed or reasonable speed to drive on a given stretch of road. We all know the speed limits are preposterous and we all exceed them, and this includes the armed government workers who enforce the speed limits. And then you see these signs that tell you 35 miles an hour, curve ahead. You get to it and you realize you could go through that curve at 55 with one hand on the wheel and your eyes half closed without any trouble. That's maybe a bit of an exaggeration, but you get my point. They just don't really make you sit up and take notice, other than taking notice of them in terms of watching out that you don't get a piece of pay and paper from an armed government worker because you ignored the sign. But otherwise, the signs are largely meaningless. Well, now I segue into this coronavirus thing. And we have become so habituated to over-the-top, hystericized coverage of everything. The climate is in crisis, the bomb cyclone, record rains, whatever it is, you name it, in order to get clicks, in order to get eyes, in order to keep the ratings up. The media catastrophizes and hystericizes everything, so that when something potentially serious does come along, like this coronavirus thing, who knows what to think? Should we pay attention to what they're saying? Should we consider what they're saying a bunch of hyped BS and ignore it? The fact is, nobody really knows. There's all kinds of information out there, and it's all over the map. And because of this boy who cried wolf syndrome, it's very difficult to divine what the appropriate, reasonable thing to do would be. And this includes, by the way, reasonable actions by the government. One of my big worries right now is not so much getting coronavirus, it's getting locked down in my county or my state on the basis of this coronavirus. I don't like that. I'd rather risk the freaking coronavirus. Take my chances with it, just like I'd rather take my chances that some guy might break into my house at some point, as opposed to ceding all of my rights and my ability to control my life to arbitrary government, which I'm compelled to obey and can't fight back against. I don't know how you feel about it, but that's my position on this. So once again, we're kind of on our own, even though we've got all these control freaks who are going to try to control us. We are going to have to ultimately figure out what's best and what to do on our own. You might ask, what am I doing? Well, I'm going to, I've got to answer the phone. So, more up at epautos.com, the web's best libertarian gearhead site. Thanks for viewing. We'll catch up with you again soon.